Hello everybody, in case you don't know me, I'm Indah Melindasari and I'm registered migration agent at ONEderland Consulting, Australia. I hope everyone is safe and well. Okay, so as you may know, Australian immigration rules keep changing all the time and which affect visa applications. To keep up to date with all the latest immigration news, please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the logo in the right hand corner and click subscribe. Alright, here is a roundup of some of the latest changes from February 2021. First, COVID-19 concessions for family and general skilled migration visa 2021. 10 new occupations added to New South Wales occupation list for skilled nominated, the subclass 190 visa. Queensland Business and Skilled Migration Program opens. Australia plans to open its door to foreign visitors within a year. Australian international students' fate is undecided. Graduate visa regulation update. Dependent graduate visa holders may apply as a primary applicant. Firstly, we will get started with the news that some previously announced concessions due to COVID-19 have now come into effect, having to do with certain family and skilled migration visas. The COVID-19 concessions help Australian visa holders continue on their visa pathway, especially for you who have been disadvantaged by the border closures, business restrictions, or the economic downturn. The COVID-19 concessions is a temporary arrangement, so once the pandemic situation gets better, the concessions will no longer apply. So for the family and partner visas, the changes relate to visas that will normally be granted offshore that can now be granted onshore. This is because some applicants are unable to leave Australia, and even if they did, they will have to face a lot of difficulties getting back in. So these concessions came into effect on the 12th of February. The following visas are now eligible for the onshore grant. So there's a child visa, the subclass 109 visa, there's an adoption visa, which is the subclass 102, dependent child, the subclass 445, prospective marriage visa, the subclass 300, and the partner visa, the subclass 309 visa. And the further concessions will apply to the disparent visa on March 14, also allowing them to be granted onshore. So there's a parent, subclass 103 visa, there's a contributory parent, the subclass 173 visa, and there's a contributory parent visa, the subclass 143. Concessions have also come into effect for certain business and skilled migration visas to try help applicants that may have been affected by the travel restriction. The graduate streams that offer temporary work and stay for graduates of Australian university can also have their visa granted offshore now. There have been many changes for the requirements of the skilled regional, the subclass 887 visa, as part of the concessions, which is really great. So for the offshore applicants, the minimum employment and residency time requirements have been changed. Meanwhile, for the onshore applicants, the 2 years required of residence for the regional area requirements have stayed the same. However, a good thing, the minimum work requirements have been lowered from 12 months to 9 months. Right, next up we have some more skilled migration news. This time concerning New South Wales nominated, the subclass 190 visa. As you may be aware, the government of New South Wales have added 10 new occupations to their skilled occupation list for the visa. It was announced on the February 16. So at the moment, the 190 visa are only open to onshore application. The occupation added to the list are as follows. Alright, so from New South Wales, we're moving to Queensland now. The state has reopened their business and skilled migration program as of February 1st. So Queensland have reopened their subclass 190 and the subclass 491 stream. Same as New South Wales, this is only open to onshore applicants at the moment. However, it does offer a good chance for those of you stuck in Australia at the moment to live and working in Queensland, which is home to Brisbane and the Gold Coast. In an attempt to kickstart the local economy, they are prioritizing a number of business program visas in the state. They are listed here. Next up in our list of visa news is that after a year of uncertainty and confusion regarding the border closure situation, the Tourism Minister of Australia, Dan Tehan, during a press conference, said that he hopes by this time next year that international travel into Australia will be starting again. As you may know, tourism sectors have taken a big hit in the last year, and this has affected the economy as a whole, especially in the more remote areas of Australia that usually rely on backpackers to make up for lack of workers. Minister Tehan said that they are hoping to be able to open the travel bubbles with countries considered to be more COVID safe, such as Japan and New Zealand. This will allow quarantine-free travel between the countries. He also talked about the establishing of a COVID vaccination passport to ensure international travelers have been vaccinated and are safe to enter the country. Ensuring the local population of Australia have been properly vaccinated, and also any foreigner visitors, whether visiting or planning to migrate, may be the only way to get back to a normal border situation and get back on track to some sort of economic recovery. While on the topic of border closures, this of course brings us to our next category of visa holders that have been greatly affected the borders closures. Yes, student visa holders. Many Australian international students have been left outside of the country, stranded, and have to resort to online learning to continue their degree programs. Although there was a national cabinet meeting that took place on February 5th, at which the international student situation was due to be discussed, there was no mention of it or any solutions brought up as to how the student may return to Australia to finish their studies. 30% of all students' visa holders have not been able to return to Australia. And there has been 25% decrease in the amount of students applying for Australian universities. The situation, of course, has created some anger and frustration among the international students community. 10,000 students had signed a petition asking to be allowed to return to Australia. They complained about the poor quality of the online teaching they were receiving. They stated that they will comply with whatever regulations set out by the government that will allow them to return, whether it was quarantining for the proper amount of time on return or even getting the vaccine. There has still been no official response to the student request. From students to graduate, our final piece of news today concerns some changes in regulations regarding temporary graduate visa, which is the subclass 485. Previously, an announcement made by the department seems to imply that people that had been either primary or secondary applicants of subclass 485 could not apply in the future as the primary applicant for a new 485. Luckily, the department clarified that the law was not meant for disallowing secondary applicants to be primary applicant in future applications. This clarification is very important for secondary applicants as they may have been studying themselves. This will have meant that they wouldn't have had the opportunity to stay and work in Australia with the temporary graduate visa once they had finished their own studies. Well, that's the run-up of all the changes and updates for February 2021. If you have any questions about how these changes may affect you or benefit you, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. ONEderland Consulting is here to help you. We specialize in complex visa cases. As a registered migration agent, with the Migration Agent Registration Authority (OMARA), we are regulated in our professional practice and bound by the profession's Code of Conduct issued by the Migration Agents Registration Authority. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel or visit our website for the latest news and helpful information.